Howdy guys, it's time yet again for another Shop My Stash video. So in these videos I talk about the makeup that I've been using for the past month, what I thought about it, if I used anything up, and then I'll talk about what I'm going to be using for the next month. So I do this in conjunction with my 20 and 2020 project pan. Basically for that project I'm not picking specific products that I want to focus on like a traditional project pan, but I am doing that in conjunction with the Shop My Stashes to help me focus on at least something for a month. That way I don't get bored of using the same thing over and over again until it's used up. I can kind of switch back and forth. So what I used in September, the foundation that I was using was this Colourpop No Filter foundation, and I did mention this in my 20 and 2020 update. That was the last video that I uploaded, but I used up that much. And last month I actually only used makeup 2, maybe 3 weeks out of the month, so not quite 4 weeks worth. And this foundation actually did not use much at all because I was testing another foundation that I'm going to be reviewing later on. So this was actually not even a week's worth of use, which is kind of weird because that's a lot of use for a week. And then I have 2 of the Colourpop No Filter concealers. I have the shade Light 10 and then Fair 0, which is the white one. And this Fair 10 is a little bit too, or this is Fair 10, the Light 10. So the Light 10 is a little bit too dark on its own, so I mix it a little bit with the white one. And these are still going. I think the Light 10, I might be able to use it up next month. I don't know. So I've used up 2 Colourpop concealers so far this year, but the only reason that I was using those up so fast was because I used them as kind of a base for a powder foundation, and that used up a lot more product. But I cannot do that with the Light 10 because it's too dark. And then I have the Colourpop No Filter powder. So that's, I haven't been marking this, but that's about how much is left in there. I would like to use this up because I have at least one other, do I have 2? So I have one other loose powder, like setting powder, then I have a loose powder foundation. So I don't want too many of these floating around. Then I had the e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. This was from their Beautifully Bare line. I've already finished up one of these this year, and this was brand new when I put it in this project, and it's going pretty quickly. I might have to, maybe I'll use it one more time and then repress it because it's getting hard to use. I had in here the Kvd Powder Foundation. I did repress this one a couple days ago. I think usually powders go really quickly once you repress them, so I'm hoping that this will be done in maybe 4 uses. And for bronzer this month, I have been focusing on this Colourpop Private Party bronzer. This is one of their singles. I actually don't think this is available anymore, but it kind of started crumbling like that, and when I got it, it had a little bubble in it, so it's just kind of been crumbling and being weird. But this is also in my Project Penciled that I'm doing on Instagram, so for Project Penciled, we're picking at least 4 products at a time from brands that we're not going to be really supporting anymore, or at least until they show growth and progress somehow. But you can read all about that on those Instagram posts. But I think this one I am probably pretty close to hitting pan, especially in that middle part. So I think, I don't know if I want to keep this in right now. I think I might switch to another bronzer soon because this one I'm kind of getting tired of using it. But I'm not going to focus on using this one up entirely just because I want to use my other bronzers basically, not Colourpop. I do like to throw in some newer products in here, so I have this Aether Beauty Crystal Charged Cheek Palette, and this is the shade Rose Quartz. They have multiple shades of this palette for different skin tones, which is great. And I have been using mostly this blush shade right here. This one is just a little bit much for me. If I use it really lightly, it's okay. And then I was using this highlighter some as well. And then also from Colourpop, I was using this highlighter in S'il vous plaît. So I did hit pan on this last month, but I just kind of made it a little bit bigger, and there is a pretty big dip around where the pan is. In this e.l.f. contour palette, I was focusing on trying to use up this highlighter shade right here. This is not bright enough, I don't think, to use like on my cheekbones, but I use it kind of in this area right here and on my nose and my forehead and stuff. And that's helping me use it up pretty quickly. I think I can maybe use it up this month. And then for eyeshadows, I used each of my palettes. I try to use them all at least twice. So I actually don't have that big of a palette collection. But I had, like, some of the ones that I have are the e.l.f. Opposites Attract, which is a favorite. And then I've got the e.l.f. J Kissa palette. I use this a couple times. And then the new colored Raine Juicy Boost palette. I use this quite a few times. I have a couple of videos about this. And then I also have the Aether Beauty Joshua Tree palette. And then for lip products, I am doing a rotation of all of my lipsticks. So I have a little chart in my notebook here, and I drew 10 circles, and then each time I use one, I kind of fill in one of the circles. Seems a little weird, but it's helped me to get through my lipsticks and not use the same one every day, to kind of get through and use each one 10 times. And then once I use it 10 times, I'll take it and put it in the drawer. That way it's not out where I can see it and I have to pick another one. So now on to the stuff that I'm using next month in October. So I'm going to keep in the Colourpop Foundation Concealer loose powder and try to keep using those up. And then I'm keeping the KVD and the e.l.f. powder because those are almost done, so I just want to go ahead and keep them in here, get them knocked out. And then for bronzer, I am going to take a break from that Colourpop one and use this new to me Milani, what's this called? It's the Silky Matte Bronzing Powder, and this is the Sunlight version. And then for blush, I have these also new to me e.l.f. Bite-Sized Face Duos. So I have this one in the shade Pomegranate and then this one in the shade White Peach. So I'm going to be just kind of going back and forth between these depending on what other eye look that I'm going for. And then I'll use the highlights in these as well. Then I'm going to keep focusing on that e.l.f. contour palette, using up that highlighter. And then for eyeshadows, I am going to use these two new to me palettes from September Rose. I cannot think of the name. So I have the Brew palette, which I'm using on my eyes today, and then I have the Slush palette as well. I get some use out of these and we filmed some tutorials with them. So before, if I had palettes that I wanted to do tutorials with, I didn't have them in my rotation for the month, so I was kind of neglecting the thing in my rotation. So my rotation this month is going to be these two palettes because I do want to do some videos and Instagram videos and reels and stuff with them. So stay tuned for those and let me know if you have any specific like color combinations or themes that you want to see with these palettes. And then also something I put on here, I want to use more of my eyeliners and glitters and special like toppers and that kind of stuff, because I can kind of get into the rut of not using those and I need to use them. So like I've got the e.l.f. J Kissa topper duo thing. I've got some different eyeliners and glitters and stuff that I'm dropping everywhere. And then for lipsticks, I am just going to continue doing that rotation. Also this month, toward the end of the month, I want to do some like Halloween inspired looks. Maybe there's going to be some more tutorials. So if you have any suggestions for makeup that you think I could do without any special products, let me know. Like every single year I want to do Halloween looks, but I never have like budget or time or think about it far enough in advance to get special stuff for them. So hopefully next year will be the year that I can do that. Click up here to watch my most recent video or click up here to watch my last empties video. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss seeing my face in your subscription box every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And the links to my social media and my blog will be in the description box below, and I will see you guys in the comments. Bye.